Listen now as though your very spirit depends on these words, because in many ways it does allow each sentence to burn into your soul, to awaken that part of you that has tasted struggle, that has felt the weight of adversity and the bruises of defeat. Understand this fundamental truth. Every test you face, every pressure you feel, every moment in which you fear you might break is not a sign of your ending. It is the shape of your becoming. What feels like it's breaking you is actually forging you, molding you into a version of yourself you can't yet fully imagine. These words are not for the faint of heart. They are for the one who recognizes in their own pain the seeds of a greater purpose. For it is only in the crucible of challenge that you will find your true power, your relentless spirit, your unstoppable self. You might wonder why the weight of life is so heavy at times. Why does everything appear to collapse simultaneously? Why does the storm intensify precisely when you feel you have no strength left to endure? Let me tell you, this is not cruel coincidence. This is the master design of growth, an unstoppable law that adversity births excellence, that the dark nights of your soul are the fertile soil where your triumph will root. You are not being dismantled. You are being transformed. Each tear shed, each disappointment endured, each heartbreak suffered is preparing you for something you are yet to see. In those darkest hours, you are being shaped into a mightier warrior called to break free of your limitations and stand taller than ever before. The path to greatness is rarely marked by comfort. Rather, it is strewn with setbacks, stumbles, the agonizing stings of near failure. This is not meant to break your spirit, but to break open the hidden strength you never knew you had. The illusions of ease and a quick ascension fade away the moment you realize that real progress demands real resilience. The unstoppable oak does not become mighty in a gentle breeze. It develops its unshakable trunk by standing firm through violent storms, its roots digging deeper into the earth with each gust of wind. So too will you stand unwavering in the face of adversity, for it is not your destiny to remain small, but to grow to the height of your potential. Hear this now. Every challenge that confronts you carries within it the seed of an even greater opportunity. This seed will flourish only if you nurture it with the unbreakable faith that you will prevail, the burning desire that you cannot be denied, and the indefatigable persistence that you will rise no matter how many times life knocks you down. You are not here to be a leaf tossed about by the gale of circumstances. You are the storm chaser, the wind tamer, the adversity breaker. You are here to carry a mission that no trivial stumbling block can extinguish. When you feel the ground quake beneath you, the illusions of stability collapsing, do not despair. This is the moment where old illusions and old limitations are torn away, leaving a raw foundation upon which you can build anew. It may hurt, but that hurt does not exist to cripple you. It exists to cleanse, to burn away what you no longer need, to strip you down to your essential might. And from that essential might, you will shape the next iteration of your destiny. Let every wound be a gateway for your light to shine. Let every crack be a point of expansion for your spirit. The greatest error is to imagine that your current adversity is your final state, that the meltdown of your circumstances is the meltdown of your life. No, what appears to be your dissolution is actually the dissolution of your old confines. You are experiencing the fracturing of your past self so that something stronger can emerge. And if you can only hold tight to that perspective, if you can, but see your breakdown as the opening act of a grander breakthrough, you will find a steadfast reservoir of inner grit. You will realize that every meltdown is forging your meltdown into a meltdown up the mountain of success. If you doubt me, if you question whether you can endure any more, then look to the foundations of faith and purpose. Recall that everything you dream of, everything you yearn to manifest, will only arrive through your capacity to endure the tests that ensure you are ready. Because without the tests, you cannot build the grit that greatness demands. Without the storms, you cannot cultivate the resilience that leadership demands. Without the heartbreaks, you cannot awaken the empathy that your calling requires. So do not see adversity as your punishment, see it as your anointing. Faith is not formed under sunshine and applause. Faith is proven in the shadows, in the lonely nights. In those times you question yourself, you cry out for answers. You wonder if the forces of life are conspiring to break you for good. But as you continue to persist, as you choose not to let fear become your final answer, you discover that your faith is all you truly have and it's all you truly need. It is the torchlight guiding you through the darkness, showing you the path forward, even when your eyes see none. That is the essence of unwavering faith, moving as though the outcome were already secure, even when the world claims otherwise. Never let failures define you. Let them refine you. Every moment of failure is but feedback. It is an indicator of what must change, what you must strengthen, where you must sharpen your focus. The feeling of final defeat is only final if you allow it to be. The unstoppable mind reinterprets every misstep as a stepping stone, every scar as a reminder of how deeply you are living, striving, pushing. For each time you stand up after being knocked down, you pile on new layers of discipline, resourcefulness, courage, and spiritual muscle. This is how you transform adversity into your personal advantage. Your tears, your frustrations, your seeming heartbreaks, understand that they do not occur in vain. They are the forging ground from which your unstoppable resilience emerges. Without them, you would remain untested, naive about your potential. With them, you learn. There are no final walls. There are only illusions of boundaries waiting to be shattered by persistence. That unstoppable trait is at the core of every giant who ever walked this earth. They too bled in private, they too cried in anguish, but they refused to interpret their struggle as a sign to quit. Instead, they read it as the moment to push harder, to dig deeper, to find one more ounce of determination. In those times when despair grips your throat and tries to choke out your hope, remind yourself that you are not here by chance. You have a purpose, a calling, a mission that demands your fortitude. If your mission were small, the struggle would be small, but your mission is colossal, so the adversity you face is proportionately grand. Let that knowledge fill you with quiet confidence instead of terror, because you wouldn't be challenged so deeply if you weren't capable of growing so greatly. You can and will rise to meet the demands placed upon you. Adversity is the great teacher, and sometimes it delivers the harshest lessons. The illusions you cherished about how easy success might be will shatter. But in the shards of those illusions, you discover that you are far stronger, more inventive, and more unstoppable than you ever dared suspect. This forging in adversity is the teacher that no comfort zone can replicate. If you can stop cursing the adversity and start cooperating with the lesson, if you can stop lamenting the hardship and start leveraging it, you transform from someone who is done to someone who does. Yes, we all walk the path of struggle. The difference between the extraordinary and the ordinary is not who encounters adversity, but how they respond to it. The unstoppable soul sees adversity as a catalyst. The timid soul sees it as a tombstone. Which perspective you choose will shape your future. Do you hold your head high, glare into the face of the storm and say, "I was built for this"? Or do you slump to the ground whispering, "I can't go on"? That single choice echoes through your destiny, because in each moment of adversity, you stand at a crossroads, and the path of unstoppable faith always leads to your transformation. Your trials are not random. They are preparing you for the vision you carry within. They are unveiling your deeper potential, your more robust skill set, your more profound capacity to conquer. Even if you cannot see the bigger picture, trust that it is guiding you. Your heartbreak, your frustration, your near misses are the stepping stones that teach you exactly what you must become to fulfill your purpose. And once you own that perspective, adversity loses its sting and becomes your ally. And now to the principle of resilience. The storms do not break the unstoppable soul, they prove the unstoppable soul. No greater measure of character exists than how you stand when the floor collapses beneath you, how you continue to climb when the mountain doubles in height. The unstoppable do not crumble because they have ingrained the mindset that anything is possible with enough perseverance, with enough grit, and with enough unwavering determination. They do not see storms as curses, but as confirmations that they are on the track worth traveling. Because calm seas never create skilled captains, storms do, and you have been chosen to navigate them. Surrender your illusions of instant gratification. True lasting success demands you walk with fortitude each day, each hour, each fleeting moment. The unstoppable do not measure success by one big moment, but by the unbroken chain of disciplined actions. They maintain faith even when it's uncomfortable, even when others mock them, even when the results are invisible to the naked eye. They know success is a slow blossoming nurtured by the daily water of consistent effort. And that is why they keep forging ahead when others falter. That is their advantage. The same logic applies to fear. Fear is not to be seen as your master, but as a threshold to growth. The unstoppable do not ask for the fear to vanish. They move forward with it, using fear's tension as fuel. Every time you push past fear, you expand your capacity to do more. Fear tries to keep you small. Action in the face of fear claims your birthright to be large, to be bold, to break the chains that have silently kept you enslaved. Unshakable faith is also your protection from excuses. So many sabotage their calling with the language of blame. They lament the economy, their upbringing, their lack of time or resources, but excuses, no matter how valid they may appear, are just cloaked admissions of defeat. The unstoppable champion sees them for what they are. Illusions that trap you in mediocrity instead of excuses. The unstoppable mind says, I create, I adapt, I persist. Because once you commit to that unstoppable identity, the power to shape your environment, to find your answers, to blaze your own path becomes inevitable. Your environment is either your anchor or your catapult. If it's negative, small-minded, or full of fear-laden speech, it can drag you down. But you hold the power to change your environment, to prune toxic relationships, to cultivate positivity in your daily surroundings, to ensure your circle is filled with those who speak courage, discipline, and aspiration. An unstoppable mind does not remain in a stale environment. It transforms the environment or relocates to one that nurtures its unstoppable spirit. That is your responsibility, to build a kingdom around you that pushes you to ascend, not to stagnate. Finally, the crisis, the meltdown, the darkest hour. That is not your grave, that is your womb. That is the crucible from which the next stage of your life will be born. In your crisis, you discover resources you never suspected you had: creativity, defiance, clarity. If everything in your life is falling apart, it might be that you needed to be shattered so that a greater structure could arise from the rubble. The unstoppable soul sees crisis as the gateway to reinvention. They do not lament. They create. They do not mope. They innovate. They do not weaken. They reorganize their resources, sharpen their wits, and let crisis become the impetus for breakthroughs. The unstoppable mind stands on the broken fragments of the old life with eyes fixed on the horizon of infinite possibility. No illusions, no regrets, no apologies for how you must carry yourself to climb out of the rubble, because in that rubble is the raw material of your next success, the blueprint of your higher calling. Indeed, crisis can be horrifying and taxing, but in that crucible of stress and confusion, your unstoppable spirit emerges. The unstoppable soul does not ask why this happened. It asks, how can I transform because of this? So now you see that every rung on the ladder of personal development, from faith to persistence, from purposeful struggle to unwavering discipline, from confronting fear to molding the environment to capitalizing on crisis, every rung is a clue on how to harness your unstoppable potential. Each principle is woven into the tapestry of triumph, forming a life that is truly unstoppable. For unstoppable is not a gift granted by the universe. It is a conscious stance you take and defend with every breath. If you have come this far, you must realize how deeply each adversity you've faced has shaped you. You are not as fragile as you once believed. You have endured heartbreak. You have encountered crisis. You have stared fear in the face. And yet, you are here, reading, breathing, ready. That readiness is your edge. That readiness is the hallmark of the unstoppable. Now is the time to claim it fully, to vow that you will no longer treat adversity as your foe, but your fierce ally in the forging of your unstoppable destiny. Stand now with your shoulders back, your chin high, and your heart blazing with the knowledge that you are unstoppable, that you are forging your future with relentless determination, that no adversity can truly conquer you unless you give it permission. Let that knowledge saturate your mind, letting every self-doubt dissolve, replaced by a vow to rise again and again until the peak is reached. And now I leave you with the call to action that every unstoppable soul must heed. Do not just let these words dissolve into memory. Let them awaken your potential. Let them spark an unstoppable uprising in your daily life. Hold that unstoppable identity in your mind every morning. Conduct your day as if everything you yearn for is already yours. Speak with authority, move with purpose, and direct your environment to match your unstoppable calling. If you do this, your entire being will shift and the world will bow to the unstoppable force you become. Therefore, I command you to seize control of your destiny with ironclad resolve. Subscribe to this unstoppable mindset, to this unstoppable standard of living, to this unstoppable vision of your future. Light that inner fire. Hush your fears. Discipline your habits and rise from every adversity as if propelled by an invisible hand that has ordained your success. In one united voice, let us declare that nothing, no challenge, no heartbreak, no crisis can withstand the unstoppable human spirit fueled by faith, purpose, and perseverance. Go forward now, unstoppable champion. The world awaits your demonstration of power. Act with conviction, live with unwavering belief, and awaken your potential so fully that you inspire others to do the same. This is your clarion call. The time is now. Subscribe to your destiny of greatness and never, ever look back. The unstoppable you has been waiting. Embrace it, become it, and conquer life on your own terms.